I don't remember the moment it started feeling heavy. I think that's the point. It wasn't one big thing, it was years of small ones stacking up quietly. I'm married, I've got 3 kids, different ages, different needs, a humble house, a mortgage, 2 car payments that show up every month whether I'm ready or not. Nothing about my life looks dramatic from the outside, it looks fine. I work construction, long hours, physical work, work that demands focus, work where mistakes don't just cost you pride, they cost you safety, trust, and sometimes your job. Out there, you don't get to have an off day. You show up steady, you show up reliable, you don't bring your problems with you because no one wants them and no one has time for them. If I lose focus, if I slip, if I start looking unreliable, it's not just my reputation on the line, it's my paycheck, my insurance, my family's stability. So I stay sharp, even when I'm tired, even when my body hurts, even when my mind is already full before the day begins. I'm up early, always early. There's an hour drive to the job site in the dark, coffee before the sun, silence in the truck. Sometimes that drive is the quietest part of my entire day. By the time I get to work, I already feel the weight of home. Bills, kids' schedules, things that need fixing, things I haven't gotten to yet. I carry that with me while I work, even though I'm not supposed to, and then I come home. When I walk through the door, the job is supposed to be over, but it never really is. At home, there's a different kind of demand, not spoken as rules, but felt just as clearly. Be present, be patient, be engaged, be calm. My kids want attention, all of them. My wife wants connection, and I want to give it to them. I really do. But the truth is, by the time I get home, I'm already running on fumes. I try to split myself evenly. A little attention here, a little there, listening while thinking about tomorrow, smiling while my body is asking for rest. I don't really take time for myself. Not because I think I'm above it, because it always feels like there's something more important. The only things I buy for myself are work clothes, and even then, only when the old ones are worn out enough that I don't have a choice. I tell myself it's temporary, that this is just the season, that someday there will be more room to breathe. But seasons have a way of stretching longer than you expect. Some nights I'm quiet, not angry, not mean, just quiet. And that's when I feel misunderstood. If I'm not upbeat, if I'm not cheerful, if I don't have energy left, it gets read as something else, like I'm distant or ungrateful or checked out, but I'm not. I'm just carrying a lot. At work, I feel pressure from home. At home, I feel pressure from work. And in between, there's not much space left for me to land. No one ever says, "You're only valued for what you provide." But it's felt in 1,000 small ways, in how reliability becomes expected instead of appreciated, in how strength turns into a requirement, in how rest starts to feel like something you have to earn. I don't feel unloved, I feel needed. And for a long time, that felt like enough. But being needed all the time means there's no room to be tired, no room to be unsure, no room to say, "I'm not okay today." So you keep going, not because you're strong, but because stopping feels dangerous. Here's the part that's hard to say out loud. I'm a good man. I'm honest. I work hard. I care deeply about my family. And still, sometimes I feel shaky under the weight of it all. Not because I want to leave, not because I regret my life, but because I don't know where I fit when I'm not producing, when I'm not solving, when I'm not holding everything together. There are moments late at night when the house is finally quiet, when I wonder what it would feel like to be known instead of needed, to have someone notice the weight before it shows up as silence, to be asked how I'm doing without it feeling like a problem to solve. I don't need fixing, I don't need advice, I just need it to be understood that the exhaustion isn't weakness. It's the cost of carrying responsibility without ever putting it down. I don't say this for sympathy, and I don't say it to blame anyone. I say it because I know I'm not the only one. There are a lot of men like me, quiet, dependable, slightly worn down, doing their best, holding more than they let on. If this sounds familiar, maybe you're not broken either. Maybe you're just human, and maybe the weight you feel isn't something you failed at carrying. Maybe it's simply heavy.